everybody, it's Vegan Family Journey, and we are here for our Savory Saturday video. So if you follow us on Instagram, and if you've seen some of our other YouTube videos, you will know that I quite often say things like a lot of authentic, traditional, everyday foods from other countries are actually vegan friendly as they are. So, don't be so afraid to step outside your box, step outside your comfort zone. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to have some Italian food today. We're going to do spaghetti alla Puttanesca, which means spaghetti in the style of a whore. That's right, prostitute pasta. So I kind of looked it up to see where the name came from. And it actually turns out that in the mid 20th century or so, there was a man who had a restaurant in Naples, and some people came by, and it was really, really late, and they wanted food, and he didn't have anything left, and they're like, just throw together some garbage, just give us something. And so he went into his kitchen and looked, and he had some pasta, and he had like 4 olives, a tomato or 2, a couple of capers. So he went ahead and he threw it all together and served it to them. They liked it. He put it on the menu and called it spaghetti alla Puttanesca. I don't know why. Maybe some of the visitors were women of the night. I don't really know. But the traditional Neapolitan version is basically your pasta, your olive oil, your tomatoes, your capers, and your black olives and tomatoes. Did I say tomatoes? I don't know if I said tomatoes. But anyway, and hang on, I got to cheat because I totally don't remember the name of the city. Lazio. In Lazio, they actually add anchovies to it. So by leaving out the anchovies, you're not necessarily making it unauthentic. You're just making the Neapolitan version. You're not doing the popular version in Lazio. And that's pretty much it. There's a little garlic, a little salt, a little pepper. It's pretty basic. And it's not heavily sauced the way a lot of spaghetti is here in the States. They lightly coat their pasta. So that's what we're going to do. Spaghetti alla Puttanesca. Spaghetti in the style of a whore. And by the way, you don't have to use spaghetti. That's mainly what it's made with, but you can also use it with penne, linguine, vermicelli. There's a few other pasta shapes that it's served with. So we hope you enjoy it. Alright, so what we do is we get some water boiling for the pasta. And just do that. And then we salt the boiling water. And then you let it come back up to a boil. Oh, that's hot. Before you put your spaghetti in. And over here we've got a skillet going. Make sure you use a skillet that's big enough to hold your pasta afterwards because you're going to put it in here, okay? And then you're going to get 3 to 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and put it in your pan, skillet. I don't know, what do you call it? I call it a skillet, I guess, or a pan. I don't know, I think I alternate. Anyway, I have prepped everything ahead of time, so we don't have to watch me chop anything. So you go ahead and you get this heated, about medium heat or so. And it works a lot easier if you prep everything ahead of time. It really does. It takes time, but it saves time, so I don't know, what are you going to do? So once you get this heated up, you're going to add 3 to 4 garlic cloves, either finely sliced or finely chopped, whichever you prefer. I guess it's thinly sliced or finely chopped, whichever you prefer. I prefer mine chopped. I don't care for sliced. And it's not all that fine. I enjoy the taste of garlic, so I did that to my own taste. Get that going a little bit. If you were not vegan and you were doing the anchovies, this is where you would be adding them. If you were able to find an Italian pepper, you would be adding them at this time as well. Since I don't have that, You can add pepperoncini, which is the pepper flakes. And you just want to cook this over medium heat until the garlic is just lightly golden. And over here you can see our water is boiling. Ow. We're going to go ahead and get our spaghetti in. Nothing left. Alright, and we don't want to burn the garlic because, of course, you know, then it becomes very bitter and you have to start all over because you can't eat burnt garlic. And you know, you always adjust the heat. As you see, everybody's stove is different. My thing is like crooked. My burner is crooked. That's better. Okay. And then you're going to add about 1 tablespoon of capers. If you get the kind of capers that are in salt, you want to go ahead and rinse them and drain them well. And then you add them in. And I'm going to lower it at this point just a little bit. Cover my spaghetti. Okay. We're going to add a handful of chopped parsley. Now I'm using Italian flat leaf parsley. You can of course use whichever you're able to get, curly leaf or flat leaf. And you're also going to add about 100 grams of black olives. Typically, the dish is made with black olives. Some people do use green olives. Okay, you just stir it to combine. Now, I could not find real Italian olives, so I used Kalamata olives. I just made sure to rinse them a little bit. And 100 grams of black olives is anywhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of a cup. And now you're going to use 400 grams of fresh sauce tomatoes, San Marzano or Dattarini, peeled, de-seeded, and chopped. These are not de-seeded. What I had to do is I bought a can of Cento whole peeled tomatoes, the San Marzano, and I just crushed them up by hand. Not a big deal. Looks good. I'm going to raise the heat back up a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a bare simmer. So again, it's about medium. And while you do that, you just let your spaghetti cook until it's about al dente, which is 1 minute less than what your package tells you to cook it for. Okay? So we're going to let this come to a bare simmer. We're going to let the spaghetti finish cooking, and then we'll be back. Alright, so you see it simmering nicely. The sauce looks real good. Pasta almost done, not quite. Al dente. And here's the other part that you've heard me talk about, is that Italians use their pasta water because they use the starch in it. Most Americans, I think, don't. So we want to save a cup's worth of pasta water before you drain it all. I don't have one of those fancy pots with a strainer in it, so I just do that. And that's about a cup of pasta water. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go ahead and drain it. And then I'm going to add it here. And you know what? Actually, what I'm going to do, instead of taking it to the sink, I don't know. Decisions. Let's see. Oh, holy moly. All right. Yeah. So you heard the clatter and the clank because I grabbed the lid without a pot holder, and holy crapola, was it hot. Woo! That's me for you. All right, so I'm going to drain this. You can watch the sauce bubble. All right. And now we're going to add the drained pasta to the sauce. Maybe. Maybe not. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Drained pasta to the sauce. Now you can add a little bit of the pasta cooking water, just a little bit to it. And what that does is it adds starch back into here to help it coat and help it bind. And now we're going to raise the temperature on this to about medium high almost. And we're going to let this come to a vigorous simmer. We really want it to coat well and kind of not really dry up, but it's not working very good, is it? Let me try this. I know, I don't have all the tools, so I'm not perfect. All right. All right, so like I said, bring this to a vigorous simmer. Cooking and stirring and shaking the pan as you go. If it seems that it starts to dry out a little bit, you want to add more of the pasta water as needed to keep it a little liquidy until the pasta is perfectly al dente. Ooh, if they had smell-o-vision. I know we've joked about that before because of my son and all his farting. But this, oh, you just smell the garlic and the parsley and the tomato. It really smells good. And if anyone is, well, I guess you wouldn't really be tuning in just now. I was going to say, if anyone is tuning in just now, we're making spaghetti alla Puttanesca. But of course you would have seen that on the title. It looks so good. Simple ingredients. All right, so we're going to let this simmer for a little bit longer. Like I said, briskly. You could see it's almost like a boil. And then we will come back to sprinkle it with a little more fresh parsley. Add in a little salt and pepper if needed. And then we'll serve and eat. All right, so this is the spaghetti alla Puttanesca.
Ooh,
I know. And see the beautiful basil leaf on top? We grew it, just stepped right out the front door and snipped it off our plant. I've got some basil and some mint growing out front. Anyway, let's give this a try, guys, and see if this recipe is a keeper or not. Let's see. And don't forget to blow, it's hot.
I like it.
Wow. That is super flavorful. Ooh, and at the end you get the little bit of spice from the pepperoncini. If you've never made spaghetti alla Puttanesca, spaghetti in the style of the whore, remember, you all right? Prostitute pasta. then you can do it. It's from Naples. It is so simple, basic ingredients, not a lot of ingredients, and it's naturally vegan friendly. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this Savory Saturday recipe, and we look forward to doing and sharing the next one with you. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.